It's news in brief on Adventist World Radio 97.7. You are hearing us live from Adventist World Radio 108 Otumfo Osei Tutu the 2nd Blvd Street, Kumasi, Asafo Labour. We are streaming live both on Facebook and on YouTube. AWR Kumasi. You can also Google www.awr.com. You can also download the Radio Garden app on Play Store and App Store and listen to some of the news on Adventist World Radio 97.7. Now let's get to the headlines. NACOC arrests prime suspect in 8-kilogram cocaine shipment attempt. Also, the NDC National Chairman Johnson Asiedu Nketia warns state of emergency on Galamsey could endanger democracy. We are also hearing that fire destroys over 100 shops at Swami Post Office Market. Also in other stories, 6 dead, hundreds displaced at Binyuri clashes escalate. Also in our international news, South Korea bans smartphones in schools from 2026. These and other stories have our editors carefully scrutinized for the benefit of our listeners and our viewers. Now let's get to the details. The Narcotics Control Commission has arrested one Emmanuel Jared Ohene Obobi, the main suspect behind an attempt to traffic 7 slabs of cocaine weighing 8 kilograms through Kotoka International Airport. The drugs were intercepted on 13 and 14 August at Swaysport en route to the United Kingdom. Investigators reviewed the use of sophisticated concealment methods designed to bypass airport security. Authorities believe Obobi is a key figure in an international drug trafficking network linking West Africa to Europe. He is currently in custody, assisting investigation. NACOC has assured the public of its resolve to clamp down on narcotics smuggling and strengthen airport security protocols. Now, the national chairman of the NDC, Mr. Johnson Asiedu Nketia, has cautioned against calls for a state of emergency in the fight against illegal mining, popularly known as Galamsey. He admits Galamsey is a national crisis, but warns that suspending the constitution to combat it could plunge Ghana into chaos and threaten democratic governance. Speaking on an interview yesterday, Mr. Nketia explained that emergency rule could open the door for abuse, including unlawful killings, without accountability. He stressed that frustrations over illegal mining must not lead to authoritarian measures that Ghanaians may later regret. Instead, the NDC national chairman is urging the nation to focus on sustainable and lawful solutions, insisting that reforms rooted in democracy remain the best way to end the Galamsey menace. Still staying with the NDC national chairman Johnson Asiedu Nketia, he has dismissed suggestions that the party plans to present President John Dramani Mahama for a 3rd term. He stressed that the NDC remains committed to Ghana's constitution and respects the 2-term limit for all presidents. According to him, the party has never operated outside the law and does not intend to start now. Mr. Nketia's comments come amid growing speculations about who might succeed President John Dramani Mahama when his current term ends in 2029. While his own name has been mentioned, he cautioned against premature campaigns, warning that it could distract government from its work and undermine its achievement. He urged party members to exercise restraint and allow the current administration to focus on delivering results before discussing any succession. Also in the Ashanti region, traders at the Swami Post Office Market in Kumasi are reeling from massive losses after a midnight fire erupted over 100 shops. The inferno, which struck just yesterday night, ripped through the busy trading hub and destroyed properties worth millions of cedis. Eyewitnesses say gas cylinders stored in the market exploded, fueling the flames and spreading fire rapidly. Traders and nearby residents watched helplessly as goods were consumed. Some residents managed to break into a few shops to salvage items before the blaze spread further. Many victims alleged that firefighters arrived late, by which time large sections of the market had already been reduced into ashes. Thankfully, no casualties have been reported. The Ghana National Fire Service has begun investigating to determine the exact cause of the fire. Now, there was a heightened tension at the Sofoline Lorry Terminal in the Kwadaso municipality on Tuesday when a group of people believed to be affiliated with the NDC attempted to take over the terminal's management. The municipal chief executive, Honorable Eric Asibe, intervened to calm the situation, but tensions escalated further when the Kwadaso Constitution chairman of the NDC, Issa Imoro, joined party supporters to insist on the control of the terminal. A team from the Ashanti Regional Security Liaison later stepped in to prevent any standoff from getting the situation out of hand. Now let's get to the Savannah region. 6 people have been killed and 18 others injured following violent crashes between Gonjes and Brifos in Binyiri and nearby communities in the region. The unrest, sparked by a disputed land sale allegedly involving Binyiri chief, has forced hundreds of residents to flee their homes. Many houses and properties have been torched, with the chief's palace also set ablaze on Tuesday. The Ghana Red Cross Society has set a temporary shelter at the Sola District Police Headquarters to accommodate women and children escaping the violence. Many displaced families walked long distances to seek refuge and protection. A joint police and military task force has been deployed to restore calm, though the scattered nature of the settlement has made patrols very difficult. The Inspector General of Police, Mr. Christian Teteyohonu, visited the affected area, while the Sola Tuna Kalba District Security Council and regional leaders are urging dialogue to prevent further bloodshed. Meanwhile, the Red Cross has pledged continued support to displaced families, especially women and children in need of shelter. Still staying in the Savannah region, hundreds of residents, mostly women and children, have fled their homes in the Sola Tuna Kalba district following these violent crashes. Several communities along the Sola Boli Highway, including Seiri, Nasoiri, Bodi, Kakease, Goda, and Doli, have been left deserted. An elderly woman was even spotted in Goda, seemingly abandoned during the mass escape. Many displaced residents are now seeking safety at the Sola police station, where heavy security presence has been mounted. Security forces intensified operations, with all vehicles in the district subject to thorough checks. The clashes, which erupted on Sunday, have claimed 6 lives and left 18 others injured. The violence has heightened fears and further displacement and instability in the Savannah region and area. Also, in the Greater Accra, government has directed the National Investment Bank (NIB) to provide financial support to traders who was affected by the Kantamanto market fire. The intervention is aimed at helping the traders rebuild their businesses after the January 2nd blaze that destroyed over 7,000 shops and disrupted livelihood for over 30,000 people. Speaking at the market reopening in Accra, Deputy Chief of Staff Nana Oye Bampo Ado praised the resilience of the traders, describing Kantamanto as the beating heart of trade and commerce in the capital. She assured them of government's continual support, including that of President John Dramani Mahama. Meanwhile, the General Secretary of Kantamanto Obroniwewu Business Association, Aduchum Atamenu, expressed gratitude to the All Foundation for providing 1,000 fire extinguishers to boost safety in the market. Now let's get to our international stories. We'll be starting with South Korea. The South Korean government has passed a new law banning the use of mobile phones and smart devices during class hours in all schools, effective March 2026. The move, supported by 115 lawmakers out of 163 present, is aimed at tackling rising concerns about smartphone addiction among children and teenagers. Research shows nearly 43% of South Koreans aged between 10 and 19 are overly dependent on their phones, with many parents and teachers worried about its impact on academics, social skills, and even mental health. The law allows exception for students with disabilities, emergencies, or educational purposes. Teachers are now legally empowered to restrict the use of mobile phones on school premises. While some parents and teachers welcome the situation, critics argue the ban targets the symptom rather than addressing deeper issues such as country's highly competitive education system. Students also worry it could limit their ability to connect socially as much interaction happens online. South Korea now joins countries like France, Italy, the Netherlands, and China, which have introduced similar restrictions on the usage of phones in their schools. Also, in Eswatini, the government of Eswatini is facing a court challenge over a secret agreement between the United States to accept third country deportees. In July, the US deported 5 convicted felons from Vietnam, Jamaica, Laos, Cuba, and Yemen to Eswatini. Authorities say the men are being held in solitary confinement until repatriation. The applicants, led by Eswatini Litigation Center, say they have been denied access to the deportees and demand accountability, transparency, respect for human rights. The case, initially scheduled for last Friday, has been postponed to September 25th after the government failed to file response papers. Eswatini's Attorney General dismissed the lawsuit as frivolous, insisting that deportees pose no threat. The International Organization for Migration says it is in talks with Eswatini about providing post-arrival assistance but has yet to decide on its role. This ends our news in brief on Adventist World Radio 97.7. We humbly urge all our listeners and viewers to continue to tune into Adventist World Radio 97.7, even as we come your way with our more wonderful and succinct program. The news was read by Ejapon Stephen Frempong.